One of the features that can label a presidential leader as either a good or incompetent president is their ability to tackle or address questions that former presidents were unable to resolve. The advancements that have occurred since the framers elaborated the Constitution with federal power to establish rules to govern people have not been in the matter of how the people have evolved within a society. It has been how the presidents have hesitated to answer the questions around their people, overpositioning their interest and harming their presidential term and diminish their party. Ronald Reagan said, leadership was a surprise. Not only did he confound the gloomy prognostication of the 1970s, but he also repudiated the priorities of the 50 years of liberal government, reset the national agenda, and became the touchstone of legitimacy for new politics that would revolve around conservative priorities through ensuing decades. Andrew Jackson and Franklin Roosevelt were the presidents who took the initiative to reestablish the order that previous presidents had harmed. Jackson tackled and he prioritized the Constitution, asserting that any institution shouldn't be above the people. Andrew Jackson went against the Bank of the United States, and he wanted the Union to be represented in Congress. He marked this as one of the actions that a president should not interfere with or by their actions, disrupt Congress with their idealism. Franklin Roosevelt, despite the fact that he hesitated about civil rights, one of the worst problems that JFK had to confront, and then they dilapidated their term. The New Deal that he created eroded. The federal government extended the new services and a permanent institution, support to organized labor, small business owners, the elderly, the unemployed, and later the rural poor. At the same time, the president revealed a new approach to big business and the affluent by pressing for tighter regulation and graduation taxation. Despite that, these presidents had enormous advancements, especially Franklin Roosevelt, creating bureaucratization to address the problem that they had been facing. But this is one of the things that politics could bring affiliated with the liberty, is that politics wouldn't be measured according to the ways of former presidents to improve their country. Incumbents are engaged in a contest to control the meaning of actions that are inherently disruptive of the status quo ante. The president who successfully solves this problem will wield a firm authority that is difficult to resist, and those who follow in the office will be constrained in their own efforts by new terms and legitimate national government secured by their predecessor. It would be expected that the president would have success if the economy, factionalism, and how each political party respects the union of Congress. Because we have examples of Kennedy and James Polk, they did not have a strong tide in their favor. They delivered their policies without regard for what the party wanted. James Polk, driven by his desire to expand at all cost, and Kennedy, motivated by the demand for civil rights, sought to address the people's tireless desire for a solution with a negative progress to arrive at a solution. Kennedy delivered a little in a way of outstanding policy, but he eventually came around to acknowledging the great moral choice he confronted, and he ultimately made a moral decision of immense national significance. Today, Donald Trump has been performing well in carrying out his Paris agenda. He's tackling the agenda with a hesitation or a deviation from its purpose, does not lean towards that the people think is right or wrong. And he has raised one of the most pressing questions that the United States has faced: immigration, the economy, and foreign affairs. It would be difficult to differentiate how the Republicans would set their standards after Donald Trump implements their proposals, as has been a hallmark of the Republican Party.